I'm Tye Trujillo, and you're listening to Tell Craig Your Story podcast.
Hi Chloe, how you doing tonight for you?
Yeah, I'm good. What time is it for you? It's
It
the
is
morning, right?
yeah,
It's
just gone
it,
past 11 a.m. How about you today?
very good. Like it's 7 p.m. here, just past there, and I had a very busy day. I had lots of meetings today, and also get some painting time. So excited about that. And yeah, I was doing a lot of work on a new EP that I'm releasing, so there was a lot of yeah, meetings about that and plans for marketing, videos, and all of that.
Let's talk about that.
Good.
You've released two singles so far. Uh,
Yes.
Tell us about the latest single, Lies.
Well, yeah. I mean, this EP is gonna be just the four songs, so it's like
Right.
two new ones that are coming out. Lies that just came out. When did it come out? I forgot. Like last year, end of last year.
Yes.
Uh, we actually shot a music video for that December 22nd, and it's gonna be finished and releasing on February 26th. I wrote all these songs kind of during COVID time, so a few years ago.
Right.
I wrote a bunch of songs during that time, and I picked four to release for this EP. Lies and all the other songs can be taken and you know, they can be taken in different layers. Like, you know, you can do the superficial layers and it's the lies, but deeper within was more the lies that we tell ourselves and the self limitations that we impose upon ourselves.
Yes.
And it's the idea of like liberating ourselves from all those lies. You know, whether it's limiting beliefs, whether it's the conditioning that we got through, you know, from childhood or all throughout life. You know, the social aspect of you know, when people don't believe in you or in something that you do, or you know, these are just lies and we can all transform. That's like the a brief summary of what the song means, but you
Yes.
know, it's more extensive. But yeah.
And writing during COVID, was that obviously different for you? Everybody was shut down. So how was that for you? Was the writing process different in that way?
um Yeah, well, it was different in the sense where I was completely on my own writing,
Right.
which I like to start on my own anyways. And then I would go, like before COVID, I would go to an engineer or somebody to help me because I was always reluctant to learn to like do music on the computer. I could
Yes.
record stuff and all this, but then I would like give it to somebody else. And COVID, I had no choice but learn to do it all on my own.
Right.
So I actually, it was kind of a blessing in disguise, I must say, because it just forced me to go beyond that like mind, like the threshold in my own mind where I was like, I
Yes.
can't do this, and then I did it. And now, you know, now there's nothing easier for me to open a session on my computer and start recording and editing and all of that. You know, I learned about mixing. I learned so much. So it was, it opened the door to be like more independent in a way and kind of move forward because I didn't want to be stagnant,
Yes.
and I still wanted to get those songs done. And that's what COVID forced me to do. It's just like I couldn't have any contact with anybody, so I'm like, let's just start working and be creative. And the inspiring thing too is we were, you know, as a family of musicians, we were all together, and everybody was playing for their own little, you know, projects and all that. But
Yes.
it was just so inspiring to like be creative as a family, and so there was a lot of good stuff that happened during that time.
That's
Very
great.
different, but sometimes going out of your comfort zone makes you grow
Yes.
so much. So yeah.
Absolutely. That's great advice. And with the COVID too, I love how you turn it into a positive as well. I mean, people are saying that it was really bad, but I was the same. It was like, okay, when COVID finishes, I want to do this, 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 and this, and I want to make sure that when I get a chance to get out, then I'm gonna do those things. So I'm glad that you also turned that into a positive.
Yeah, I try to turn things into positives. Like, it's that's the way to kind of move forward and try not to be dragged down. It's not easy every day, but yeah, it's a good thing.
And talking about dragging down, I mean, you're doing so many different things, different projects, fashion, art. Where do you fit that time in one day?
Um, I mean, one thing that I must say is all these things, and I'm not saying it's always super joyful. Every
Hmm.
aspect has like a business side to it, has a
Yes.
like a not so much fun side to everything, but everything brings me joy. So I think it gives me energy. But at the same time, I also have to be super organized in some way,
Yes.
even though it's like all kind of creative endeavors and creativity can be also a little messy and not as organized, but I have to um, fit everything in the schedule. But
Yes.
like for example, this whole week has been so busy, and the business side of things and marketing and all of that took over on the creative. So I was happy to fit in some painting here and there throughout the days, but I've been wanting to sing
Mm.
on new material that I wrote, and I haven't had the time. So I'm like, okay, it's gonna happen next week, and I'm
Yes.
gonna schedule it in, and I have, I'm old school. Like I have, this kind of like that's my agenda, and I write in what I have to do, and so I keep things organized but still flexible.
Yes.
See if something or some opportunity happens or something happens, I'm still flexible. But yeah, there's specific deadlines and specific dates for some shows or releases or things like that. So I try to work backwards and try to schedule things as needed.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
it's not always easy. But yeah,
and do you have a team that's working with you, or is it you just doing it by yourself?
I'm very much by myself.
Yes.
I do have an agent for my fashion line,
Right.
so that helps. For example, I'm gonna do a little runway show for, and it's a small collection. I always do capsule collection because, and so I do have a team with that, and that's really recent,
Yes.
like just a few months ago, and it's helped so much because then I can focus on most of the creative side of things, um, than just do it all. But yeah, I'm very much a one woman show. And I'm starting to feel like, okay, I would benefit from having some kind of help, whether it's an assistant or somebody for a lot of the things that take time that can be
Yes.
delegated. But for now, it's all me.
That's why I talked about the schedule because yeah, you seem to be a very busy girl. What I wanted to talk about was, and I'm chomping at the bit to talk about this, is the tour that you did in Australia
Yes.
in November. You were there for just a bit over a month there, and I
Mm-hmm.
did the same thing. I went back and I saw your husband play, I saw your son play, and you did a tour of the East Coast as well. So tell me some of the highlights about Australia. Was the first time you've been there, right?
Yeah, I cannot even pinpoint when high. It was just amazing altogether. I loved Australia. We had so much fun touring. Um, I was the only chick with like 15 dudes on that tour, and it was amazing. It was amazing. We had so much fun. The Australian crowd were awesome. We loved playing. I mean, and I love just even, I would get up early in the morning, and kind of walk around and explore, especially like when we get to, all on the coast there, and,
Yeah.
and I was like, let's try to find a beach like early morning, and I would walk, and I actually heard, was it Coughs or Port Macquarie, where there was a
Yeah.
shark attack or something, a shark sighting.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
it was
right.
at that beach I was at, like, and I was swimming in it, with Mark, the bass player. We were just chilling because he goes for runs early morning, and I was just walking. And I texted him. I say, "Hey, are you around? Because I'm at that beach." And he's like, "Oh, I found this other beach." And we went swimming, and it was just the two of us. And then 2 days later, there was a shark attack at that same beach. And I was like, "Oh, dude, that's
Yeah, right.
crazy." But like, yeah, it was really amazing. I really loved the people there. I really enjoyed the whole tour. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
Um,
In
People are
Syd
so nice, and we just had a great time, performing, and just discovering. I mean, for me, and Mark has lived in Australia, so he knows the country. But me and Kevin, we were like, wow, kind of exploring and discovering, and meeting a bunch of cool people. And I got so many gifts too from fans. It was amazing, like so giving.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
Absolutely. And I saw in Sydney you played it on a cruise ship or like a boat.
Yes, that
Tell
was
us
so
about that.
beautiful too. I mean, you're just playing on a cruise ship, on a boat, and passing, and it was a beautiful day, and passing in front of the opera house,
Yes.
under the bridge, and all of that, and it was such a beautiful day. It has its challenges because you're like on a boat. It's so funny because we were, how many hours? Close to 7 hours, I think, on that boat.
Yeah.
And then we played a club show that night in Sydney at Duke, and I remember. I mean, it was a long day. It was a lot of work, but it was really a lot of fun. Playing two shows in one day, and one of them being on the boat. But I remember when going to bed that night, I felt like I was still on the boat. Everything was moving. I was like, oh my God,
Yes.
oh my God.
I saw in one of your videos you said when you were doing sound check the boat was sort of like
Yes.
bobbing up and
Actually,
down.
Kevin is like, he's like, oh, it's like surfing and playing. And I'm like, yeah, totally. It's just like, yeah, during sound check, it was really moving. And I was like, oh, it's going to be interesting performing. And then it was okay while I mean, it was still moving, but not as much as the sound check. Because we were even getting worried with the drums, because like, I was like,
Right.
we don't want cymbals to fall. And
Yeah. And how is your Aussie slang? I also saw another
Oh.
video there of you getting questions on your Aussie slang. How is that? Has it improved or got
Yeah.
worse?
No, it was good. I learned a lot of Aussie slang, while I was there. And learning that they create, the O, like I was not Chloe anymore. I was Cloho.
Good.
Um, Things like that, and like I think I talked about in one of the videos that they shot. I was talking about the yellow cars, Spotto, like in the bus, like those games. Like I'm like, what are we doing?
Yes.
But yeah, it was, yeah, and I learned it was. I'm French, I'm from Paris, and sometimes I'm so used to the American English accent. So
Right.
when I go, like, for example, when I go to Britain, sometimes it gets me like a tiny bit of adjustment. I'm like, okay, now I understand what they're saying. For Australia, it was the same. In the beginning, I was like, I can't understand anything, speak slowly. But then by the end, I was like, Okay, I get it.
That's awesome. And I saw a bus breakdown as well. So you're living the rock and
Yeah.
roll lifestyle as well. You're on tour. That's rock and roll right there. So
Yeah, totally. We had a bunch of like experiences like this where also one day our drummer was like, "Where is he?" Like, bus call was like at 8 a.m. and we're all ready and he was missing and I'm like, "What happened?" And then he, it was 2 hours late and he came running towards the bus. I'm like, "Where you been?" Like, like things like that or, you know. Uh, but yeah, it's all part of the journey and yeah.
and a proud mother being in Australia at the time. Uh, your husband's there. Your son's
Yeah.
there, and you're playing with your daughter as well. A proud mama.
To totally. I mean, my son um, was. I mean, I went to most of the shows. I didn't go to Perth. I still have to visit Perth.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
one place I didn't get to see, and Adelaide I didn't get to see either.
Right.
We're like Melbourne, Sydney, so I went to all the shows and yeah, watching Ty play every night. It was amazing. He came to our Sydney show, but at the Duke.
Oh
He
yes.
decided to stay because he's a surfer too. So he decided to, after his tour was done, he stayed on the Gold Coast and
Right.
and surfed, and then he stayed in Sydney uh, um, for a bit with a friend of his that he had met, a guy that lives there.
Right.
And so he went to our show, and then my husband, after his tour, he decided to stay on the Gold Coast as well with some surfer friends, and so he went um, to see us perform on the Gold Coast at Moe's, and so did Mike Muir and his wife
Nice.
Nisha. They went, so that was fun. Like, I got to see them play. They got to see me play. It was great.
Does it feel different when you're playing live on stage and you have your husband and your son and all close friends with you in the crowd? Or is it just another gig?
I mean, it's funny because it changed. It used to be I used to get more nervous, especially when my husband was in the crowd. But that was like years ago.
Right.
I would be like, "Oh my God," um, I was like, "Oh, I hope I don't mess up. I hope I'm, this and that." And now it's like so many times that he's seen me play, and I always want to do my best no matter who's in the crowd.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't even know who's in. I mean, I
Yes.
knew they were going to be there, but sometimes you never know until after the show. I'm like, I'm all for always doing my best no matter what. There's people that pay tickets to come see us play, and so I do my best no matter what. It's they deserve the best show ever, and I try to make it better and better each time. So yeah, so I think it.
And with the release of this new EP, are there plans for a tour?
For me,
Yeah.
Um, I would love to, because these are songs I wrote by myself. I would have to kind of find musicians
Music.
and
Right.
play, but I would love to. That's definitely, a plan of mine. I think I have other songs that I'm
Yeah.
working on right now,
Right.
and I would love to release like a full album. And I'm gonna re-release my older material too that I took off streaming platforms, and I'm gonna start anew. I'm remixing some of the stuff, and so that way I have enough material that's released, and would love to play. I'd love to play Australia again with my
Come
own
on.
material. That would be so awesome.
Yes.
um, but also, I would love to play in Paris again because that's my hometown. We get to play with Boulevard of Eyes in Paris. Was it 2 years ago now?
Fantastic.
And it was an awesome show, and it was fun because it's like all my friends in Paris. You know, all the ones that could come to the show were there, and it's a nice way to catch up with everybody. So yeah.
There you go. With some of the bands, the international bands, if they're heading to Australia, then they'll either go through Asia, then Australia, or vice versa. They'll go to Australia,
Yeah.
then go back through Asia. Are there any plans to do something here in Asia?
I would love to. I don't know. I know we had a chat um, about Japan because there's been some offers. Shanghai, I for now. I mean, I'd love it. I'd
Yeah,
love it. Especially Shanghai is a cool city. I've been there.
very cool.
I've been to
It's
Shanghai. I've been to Beijing. Beijing is a little more like city,
yes,
and it was cold when I was there.
right.
Um, Shanghai
And
I feel
Hong
like
Kong?
it's a little more international, right?
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
like there's so much going on in Shanghai, uh, and yeah, I would love to. I love to travel. I love to play in different places and meet new people. So, but so far there hasn't been offer. We receive offers for Europe,
Okay.
specifically France. Probably I'm French, so yeah. And in
So,
Morocco.
Chloe, is it for your solo
No, that's
work
like I'm
or for
talking Boulevard of
Boulevard of
Eyes.
Eyes? Right. Okay.
For my solo stuff, because I haven't played live shows, I think once I start playing, if I start playing locally, then I think probably stuff will come up.
Right. And sorry, I tried to find this information about the Australian tour with your daughter. Uh, did she not play on the Australian tour?
Oh yeah, no, she didn't play. Yeah. Okay, my daughter, she's super busy.
Yeah.
She's working here part-time as a barista in the
Right.
local coffee shop. At the time of Australia, she was also finishing. Um, she's an amazing artist as well, like visual artist. And she had to finish illustrating a children's book for this woman
Right.
that wrote a children's book. So
Ah.
yeah, so we had. That's why I was saying we lost our drummer on Sydney, the day after Sydney show.
Right.
Uh, um, and this guy is from Australia. His name is Shane. He was amazing, and Mark knew him. I think they played together on some project years ago, and Shane learned all our material. Actually, Lullah, my daughter, did videos for him, like to I was filming her playing our songs and send it to him so he can, because there's things that we do differently live
Right.
than on the recording. So we send it over, and then we had one rehearsal with Shane the night before the first Melbourne show, and our first day of the tour. And so one rehearsal, and it went really well, and Shane was amazing, and
That's a
yeah,
professional right there.
yeah, no, and he was great.
And you were speaking about surfing before. You've actually designed some boards, yeah, art design, is it? So tell us a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, and actually, uh, funny you ask because I'm just gonna do a couple shows. I've been asked to do a couple shows, exhibits with new surfboard art. So I have to paint right now about 9 surfboards to
Right.
fill in these shows. Actually, I have a couple that were in the sun all day because I refurbished them
Right.
and turn them into pieces of art. So I had a couple in the sun today with like getting the wax melting so I can clean them up and start painting on them. I love painting on surfboards. I did it the first time years ago when Billabong Europe commissioned me to paint on surfboards, and I had never painted on a board before, so I was like, cool. And
Wow.
they sent me surfboards to paint, and they had them on display at one of their stores. And I love the process so much. I'm like, I'm gonna paint more boards. And I was like, Robert, give me some boards that you don't use anymore, right? And so that's what he does. And or I get sometimes gifted boards, I mean, by people that don't use them, and then I paint them, and yeah.
Are they available on your website to buy?
Yeah, so yes, they are. Just a note on my website, I'm getting my website completely updated and redone.
Okay.
I saw actually the first draft of it this week, and we're getting close to being finished. So everything will be like clear, and because my website, yeah, first needed to be updated so bad, but because I create so much that I was adding stuff and adding stuff and adding
Yes.
stuff, so I feel like navigation was not super, easy. So yeah, so I did. So we're redoing it, and and you'll see the surfboards there, available to buy, and all kinds of artwork and all the new
Fantastic.
music, everything.
Put me down for one surfboard.
Okay.
It's
Sounds good.
it's the one thing that I absolutely love going back to Australia, because Shanghai doesn't have the surfing. Only the you can go into a shopping mall and pretend you're surfing on waves there. So
Yeah.
yeah, first thing I do when I go back home is get the board
As
out
you
and
go out,
get
yeah.
out and have a swim.
Where's
Um,
home for you? Where's the when you say home, like in
yeah.
Australia? Are
Yeah,
you from?
so I'm born in Newcastle. So
Okay.
you would have went past it between
Yeah.
it's Sydney
Yeah. We
and Port
when we
Macquarie.
drove past it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and I was going to ask, but yeah, no Newcastle show.
Hmm?
No Newcastle show.
I didn't. We had like a tour manager, and
Right.
he organized all these shows. Um, yeah, we could do a Newcastle show next time.
All right,
I
come
hope
on.
so.
Yeah. No, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
One and when you went back to the US, you went to Chicago and New York, and
I
you
went to
also
Miami
oh
and
Miami,
Miami, yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, and Chicago and New York, yeah. So I flew home for one day, basically to unpack, do laundry, get groceries for the kids, repack, and fly the next day to Miami. I had a show for, it was the Art Basel going on, and I was presenting my one of the collections, the resort collection, resort wear, and all that. And so I had a show there, and I was invited to different events, and then went to the art show and all that. So I was like, I think 2 days in Miami, then flew home for 2 days, and then flew to New York with a whole different kind of suitcase because it was so freezing. You go into, like, it was Australia, of course, like Melbourne and Sydney were,
Little cold.
kind of coldish weather, but as soon as we got on the coast, it's got get really hot and
Yeah.
warm. And then back home, it's kind of warm. Then Miami was also hot and warm. Back home, again warm. And then New York, all of a sudden you're freezing.
Yes.
And then from there, I flew to Chicago, and then it's like snow and ice and minus 20 degrees Celsius. It
Wow.
was like, oh my God. Like all the layers and
Yeah.
beanies and scarves and gloves and all kinds of gear. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also you brought out your third deck of Magic Deck designs art
Yeah,
as
I
well.
launched that in Chicago
Yeah.
along with like a design that I did for a charity, the Dark Matter Coffee. I did the
Yes.
packaging for a small run. So yeah, I did all that in Chicago. New York was again for my fashion line, and Chicago was my the Magic Deck, um, and some other of my designs, but like more art stuff, and then the coffee packaging as well.
Absolutely. Um, I'm gonna throw a complete curveball here now.
Okay.
Your tattoos.
Yeah,
I'm enthralled. What tattoos have you designed yourself?
all of
And
them.
all of them.
Well, I draw. Yeah, I draw my tattoos,
Yeah.
and then I get them. Yeah.
How many do you have at the moment?
I don't know because they get connected to one another.
Right.
So I don't know how many.
And what was the last one that you did then?
The last one actually is this hand,
Okay.
and that was done in Chicago. So I did a show at the gallery, the same gallery, Sideshow Gallery, the same gallery I did the show recently.
Mm.
It was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. I arched with them and a pop up event. And so I had the pop up event during the day. Then I had 2 hours break for dinner, and then was the art opening right after. And during the 2 hours break for dinner, instead of having dinner, I went next door to the tattoo shop. And basically, Omar, who's the tattoo artist, is the husband of one of the owners of the gallery. So their businesses side by side, and so I was like, let's go, and I kind of like it because it's like a souvenir of a good day, a good time,
Yes.
and so that's the latest I did. Yeah,
Nice, nice. And your artwork in the back.
yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about this and what was your inspiration?
Uh, well, I mean, these are older. I mean, older pieces. Yeah, but not that old. But all of my art is. I want to say, like when I create is almost like a little bit of a spiritual process. I don't know what I'm gonna paint until I'm like facing the canvas, and
Mm.
then I have kind of visions, and and I just paint what I see in my head, and so that's what it is. And sometimes I don't really know the meaning of any painting until it's finished, and there's a lot of symbols in there, and then if you want to analyze, like, okay, why the eye inside a heart, that can have many meanings, like like for me it's like one can see really best through their heart, like this is
Mm.
this is what gives you the truth. But then, there's the red roses that can be like a symbol for passion, for love, for, it's so, but I leave it to, because you can interpret this with,
Yes.
with your life experience or
Yes.
your culture. So I kind of like to leave it up to the viewer's interpretation versus me trying to like feed, like, okay, this is, I can give you example of what it can mean, but maybe to me it means something else. Like for me, it was more like, okay, there's the black background, and these like light rays of light, and for me it was like, oh, the heart, seeing through the heart is like guiding you in the darkness, like really illuminating the darkness, and the passion helps guide you as well, like what your passion. So in the lightning bolt were like, it's just like the power, the extra power that it gives you, but then somebody else might find another meaning, but that's just an
Yeah.
example.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I like about the symbols too, because they have so much depth, and so That's how I like to work. And
Yeah.
and seeing my artwork, I hope, is actually through finding the meaning through symbols and all this, is a reminder for the person that owns the artwork or has it in their room, that it's just like a powerful tool to just, you know, be
Absolutely.
positive.
And it's a bit like music as well. When you write a song, it's open to your interpretation. It's like, okay, well, if that's what it means to you, then
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Some cliche questions I just finish off with right at the end. Uh, what's the best piece of advice you've been given?
Hmm. I don't know, because I feel that the best piece of advices I've been given were through reading books, not necessarily from people I know. And one of the best one is what I was just talking about, is like really follow your heart, because I've been told so many times to do this or that, or stop doing this, or be like this, be like that, and I tried to kind of please people for a long time, but then it wasn't necessarily making me happy. And so I think when we create, or we're show up with joy, there's something magical about it, and everything kind of falls into place. So that's I've been reading about this a lot in different
There,
books,
there
not
you
a
go.
specific one, but yeah.
If you were to go
Yeah.
back and visit a young Chloe in France when you were just starting off, or what advice or what encouragement would you give her?
To keep going, and um, just to believe in myself more, I think, because there was so many hard moments, and I had some experience that were really tough, really hard, and a couple times I felt like giving up everything, so I would just be like, keep going.
There you go. So social medias, Chloe, where can we find you for our
Yeah.
for where can we find you for our Australian and our international listeners?
Well, I'm most active on Instagram, and that's my name. My handle is my name, Chloe Trujillo, CHLOE TRUJILLO. And then, of course, I also have a YouTube channel that's also Chloe Trujillo, where I upload all my music videos, so you can check me out there. And I will have, like I said, a brand new website, chloetrujillo.com. And then on there, I'll have a sign up for a newsletter. So if you want to catch a show, or be aware of any sales I have, and when I say show, it could be an art show, gig, tour, whatever is going on, new music, new art, surfboards, all of that. There'll be like a sign in for a newsletter, and I'm planning to be a lot better at sending newsletter in 2026.
Come on.
Because it's been so busy, but I would like,
Yeah.
yeah, because I think it's a great way to keep in touch with people. So yes.
Absolutely.
Um,
And also wanted to mention too that here in China, they have QQ Music, and that's where I listen to all your latest EPs and all the Chloe Trujillo music as well.
yeah, I'm on most streaming platforms, I think, internationally too. Yes.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you again for your time. I hope you can come back to Australia and in Asia as well. We'd really like to see you here. I'm sure there's lots of fans here as well. And all the best for 2026 with your fashion and your arts and your music. You got so much going on.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me too.